Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi.
Somebody say local.
Yes, guys, we're there with one of the legends of football, master in the center of the field, and can play multiple positions. So we're there with Earl White. Earl White, we don't enhance the me on the playing field. So Earl White, what's up? Huh?
The boy cool, man. The boy cool.
All right. I want to start off to just ask you if you remember your first game playing football, your first game playing for a team. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was in 1982. Good afternoon, Mr. Wang. Nice for you to have that little session there for us as well. And I appreciate that the job you're doing going around, to get all the legends and them to give a little history about the football so you can spread the knowledge. We can understand what really happening, what really take place so better for the future. My first game playing in Windsor Park was the Central. That's where I born and raised up. I had a team by the name of Green City. A team come from Virgin Lane. And those guys have made very well. I used to work with the grotto with them and so on, I had to be as a member as soon as I was band with them and so on. So now and then they give me a little sweat, so that's why I come in. I first give my players against Zebians. I think I had so much energy and I was so desperate to play. I think I beat out the whole Zebian team and scored one goal.
You beat out the whole team?
The whole team and scored one goal. Everybody said, but why is Lord the man? Where Mr. come from? Who's Mr. Mr. the central man? Oh, why that there, man? That's the very first time I played. And that's the only time I played for Green City in 1982. So since that time, we decided, following in 1983, we formed our team by the name of Blue Stars.
Blue Stars, one of the most talented team ever in Dominica football. So tell us about the Blue Stars team.
Well, the team Blue Stars, now, we've seen the days of Rosa Central before. The Central was so tough in those days. You had teams like Kensborough and Kens, and then you had teams like X-Rovers and Greenslave, and then we were just around, so it was difficult for us to get a pick to make the team. So the only choice we had to do was to form our team. We had our little team before. We used to call our name Bomber. We used to go out and play. When Christmas come by Bandic and Bristol go out and play. We used to play against Pottersville, against Goodwill, And then when we formed that team in 1983, that's when we came out together. Our first game was against Baffert State at 2:40 in the Windsor Park. We beat Baffert State 3 goals to 1. From there on, we go on to win Harlem in the finals, and that game was playing Typical Wing, the grammar school, and we beat Harlem 2-1.
So that was what division?
That was the second division.
Second division?
Second division, 1983.
1983.
Blue Stars versus Harlem, second division. And Typical Wings won that game 2-1.
So Blue Stars was really a ghetto team. Guys living around, close to the Windsor Park. Come and take the sweat in the mornings. Tell us about some of the guys that were playing on the team and how football have helped them in the area,
Well, it was very simple. Blue Stars really came from the Rosa Central, place close to the Windsor Park. The mother was a family team. Because my mother had how many children, my auntie had how many children, and families around. You know what I'm saying? So when we really come together, we had over 15 players. So it was very easy to form the team. You understand? But what we had to do was try to get a coach to put things together so we can understand the rules and the laws of the game. So that's how the team formed. Don't forget my ex-advisor who he's done already. Everybody's missing him. Great Steve Norris. Which what happened, it wasn't what happened to each, what happened to him. And he was the main one behind it too.
Sure.
Also Isaac Andre was the main man behind it. A guy called Marcus Scotland, He used to work in the garden and put things together to raise fund, And then referees like Albert Joseph, Warwick Thomas, a lot of good guys was with us, We were very young, inexperienced, but we were just trying to get it going through. And for now we come together to build that team. And then we get our first sponsor, what they call it Baz. You remember Baz? Our first sponsor helped us out to give us some money. Remember Astafan, and we get some nice street uniforms, it was yellow and blue. That's how we ended up to come together and to raise fund to win up the Blue Stars team. And from since that day we won the second division. In 1984, we went up to the intermediate division. We were undefeated. The other team I need to call CJ Half Stars. It was not very long. It was a very good team. And there was
CJ Half from Newton.
Newton, that is correct.
Yes.
Man like Tide, remember Tide?
Great baller. I saw the pic.
Very
I saw the pic of some of the players.
Wallace Smith Tide, he was very good at that time. And then that team CJ after was in the same zone first. And then we top the zone. So we beat City After 3-love in that same zone. The City After and we qualified. And then we end up meeting in the finals. And then the boys from Newton come down with Tide, and Tide was unstoppable. In the very first 5 minutes, Tide hit 2 missiles.
Tied.
2 missiles on our keeper Steve Norris. And have us 2-love. And City After decided, okay, do or die, we're going to defend that thing to win. He came back in the second half, but it was too late. So we ended up losing that game 2-1 to City After. Now City After, first time they won the intermediate to go up to the first division.
Before you go further in this, was interviewing Chombi sometime in the week, and he said he put a ball on Steve Norris in the same corner Steve was, and Steve never saw the ball. Chombi.
Well, my brother Chombi, I remember Chombi scored, because what happened? Chombi wanted to come before Blue Stars, and I was in favor of bringing Chombi and Blue Stars. But I feel that sometimes, you know, people call us that we old, but we still feel a little energy, and we're willing to play the game, and they share the experience with the players. And for those guys just checking, why bring Chombi? Because Chombi plays football. I say, no, today tomorrow could be just like Chombi. That's why I talk about. Look at Gordon Monzedi, our coach. He all his football, and he was still coaching our team, and he was still playing for us. You know what I'm saying? Because now then they have the energy, you can get the experience and learn from them. And he was pressing Chombi. I think Chombi came on a team, and he get that opportunity, and I was there very well. And he really 2 missiles in Steve. 2 serious missiles. I saw, you see the man can still kick, or you see the man can still kick. I appreciate that thing. 2 with bombing, he said he had great for it. It was well planned, and I appreciate that. In that time, Chombi had come before Blue Stars, but he didn't last long for us, because I guess he had his top.
Yes.
But I appreciate Chombi. And just to go further, man like Chombi from Harlem, South City, then guys like Fox and Wheelie and Fanny, all them guys there, them guys was my mentor of football. Every time them guys would come and went to back and play football.
And that's important. It's important to have a mentor. And I think most young kids should look at a mentor, somebody they can look up to.
Yeah, that was my guy, Harlem. I appreciate Harlem, because when Harlem come to Windsor Park, the whole park is full of. And when them boys come from South, they come in for plan, they head on, and they come and give you what your money is. And them boys was paid very, very, very well.
Earl White as a national player. First time you make a national team. What did you feel?
Well, as I told you, my brother, I started in 1983. I played first game for 82 against Green City, only 1 game. Blue Stars from in 1983, we won the second division. The national team, they were selected national team to went to Guadeloupe in 83, okay? And I was on that team as well as Steve Norris and Patrick Isaac. Those are young guys was on the team, you know what I'm saying? And we went to Guadeloupe to play that game from second division. And we had the first game down a place they call it Mole, and against the Guadeloupe, like a B national team. But they had almost 8 national players on the team.
Okay.
And we won that game 2-1. I scored the first goal against Guadeloupe. And then we couldn't understand how we beat them. Then we had the second game. The other
How
game,
was your position?
I was playing from the midfield.
Midfield.
Usually I'm an all-rounder. You see, the thing about me, when I watch football, I don't want to play one position, because I realize the capability and the skills, our knowledge, our football, the energy. I think I learned to play all different positions. That's what I'm saying? So I was playing as a midfield, but because of the energy and the skills and talent, I could always come up front and get my goals.
Because that's very important, you know what you said, because back in the days, most guys was playing multiple positions. And, you know, usually today, you know, a player will tell you, I'm a forward man, I'm a striker. But it was very important back in the time, you know, playing multiple positions.
That is correct, because I learned that if you watch it, like, it's like a history about, they call it August Geese from Newtown. It's all the main midfield players, very good. Felt like Derek Green was playing the defense as well. I played against all these fellas, Derek Green, Majors, all them good guys. Anthony Norris came from, he's my cousin, he's from Kensu Kenbu, very good midfield player. Thomas Kentish, and all these guys were center midfield players. When they come on the national team, they have to understand, okay, well, look, everybody cannot play center. You get where I'm from. And then they have time to switch. Who's going to play left, who's going to play right. And then you have that communication among them. But I think, even some recently had about Echo and Solka probably they could not play together. You know, I found it just very troublesome. You know what I'm saying? But you know what days we could understand that, because you was picking me as an all-rounder and I was the main goal scorer. Okay? And then I had to play left midfield, and I had to sacrifice to play left midfield. Because the days the guys were striking, we had Michael George, Jomo Hippolyte, and Alan Tousse was the main forward men up front. And I coming in from the second division to make the national team. Okay, as I told you, we just go to Guadeloupe to play, and we won the 2 games, okay? So the year 84 now, they select us to go to St. Lucia, the national team. And I was the main leading goal scorer from the second division to the intermediate. So then we go to St. Lucia to play the first tournament. And then I had to play as a left midfield player. And I have to respect it because
sure.
Michael George was a great striker.
For sure.
Coco Shoot, he put it was a great striker. Adam Tuchel was a great striker. I could not make noise when no white in Premier at the front. I had to be able to play left mid because I was an all-rounder. Wherever you put me to play, I could have played.
So you were saying also that the coaches, you know, you were affected a lot by coaches because of where you come from. You know, can you tell us and explain about that?
Yeah, that is very, very correct. And I always wanted to share that knowledge with a lot of people to understand that. Because we came from the ghetto. Even though we were even from Rosa Central, is the city for Chuba, we come from the ghetto. Just at the back of the minister building there. You know what I'm saying? And we all come from where people in tea or thing, going through it in the river. That's where we come from because we were not rich people. But God gave us a skill and knowledge and we make use of it. You understand? Football was back was very close, so we had no choice to learn it and to do it well. And I always wanted to be the best. I always wanted to be the hero. And I take my football very, very serious. We used to train 3-4 times a day. Run all to Lola, Mount Prosper, Beverly Sea and so on, in the hot sun sometimes, we take it very serious. The problem I have is some coaching, because of where you come from. When they understand the impact that you're making, they find who are you to make that impact in football. Just in first, I'm going to play football in 1984 against St. Lucia. Okay? I was playing left midfield. Red Bull, Edward Francis was the captain of the team. When we played the first game, we decided to do Michael, Joe Moore, and Alan Tusi was playing up front. The game was 1-1. And we had good opportunities to get the goals. Michael, Alan, and Hippolyte, to me, they threw the goals. I was vexed about it. So I was telling the coach, in a time like that, if your striker is not working, and you have me as a good striker, you understand? Why can't you make an interchange? You know what I'm saying? Bring me up front to see the difference, something good happen. You know what I'm saying? And most of them coaches, they don't listen to players. So we end up losing that game 2-1. When they come, usually they have a panel out there that select 2 good players on every team and to make the win-what team. When they come to select 2 players on the Dominica team, it was Edward Francis and Earl White. Very first sniper in the tournament. And then we did not make it to the finals. So the next game was against Grenada. The coaches and them never played me against Grenada.
So you will say you are saying that although you wasn't a starter,
I start on the team.
you start on the team
I started as a left midfield.
as a left midfield.
I started on the
Where you're saying you are the goal scorer.
I was the goal scorer in my team, but then I came from second intermediate. But Alan Tuchel are very strikers too, so I don't have a problem. Striking, I respect it. What I'm saying now, the game is almost to an end. 15 minutes to go. You see things are not working. I mean, you got to be able to make an interchange. Why can't you try it right up front? You know, see what can happen. Usually changes just change a lot of games. You know, it can be effective.
But I also realize, trust me, in those days I don't want to be a coach because you are mentioning so many great players for me, talking about Red Bull, Tuses, Coco Shoe. So it was very difficult also to be a coach. You know?
The coaching was tight, but the players could understand one another. Because I told them guys today, I see you making national team. To me nowadays, you could not make national team like that. Because you had a team like Harlem. You had almost like 8 players could make national team in Harlem. When you go to Kenju, and there's 6-7 players make team a national team. You go to Saints, don't forget Celtics, don't forget Sparta.
And you only have to pick 20 players in the time.
You have to travel with 18 players.
yeah.
And then later it come to 20, come to 22. So it was easy to make national team. It was very, very hard to make national team. And then you couldn't just come to national team just like that. You have to be able to come and train. And if you can't come and train, then you have to have a reason, an excuse to bring to the coach.
What about your personal training?
Well, my personal training, as a player,
doing the work on their own.
Well, I always do that. It's important. But that's what had helped me over a lot of players. You understand? Players who wait to just come and play when they come in the park to just go and train. But no, I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, I pass in the Windsor Park, I just exercise, and I run up to Loda, to Mount Prosper, to Trafalgar, to Center Roma. Then I come back in the park, I do my session. When I come back to train again in the afternoon with my club, we do another session. When I finish that session, we leave and we go to the beach in the sea and run in the sea, run in the soft sand to build up the strength, the muscles and everything. I was taking training very, very, very serious. You know, so that is why I had that strength and I had that skill and knowledge about the game. You understand? But just back to the coaches. The coaches and them sometimes they don't listen to players. You know, so as I told you, the next game against Grenada, we lose 4-0. We had guys like Manu. Anybody know Manu playing for Manu Licha playing for Kengo was goalkeeping. We have guys like Washington, Courtney, Challenger was the goalkeeper on that team. Okay? And we just fall up against it. From that day to St. Lucia, I never played the game. We went to Martinique to play another game. The coaches up north still don't play me. Martinique 8 team give us 6 love. And then we had a meeting. I said, Coach, what have I done wrong? The very first game I played, I was selected to be on the win-what team, Edward Francis. He never played that game. What have I done wrong? You know what I'm saying? I said, we have one more game to play against the Matic team. You have to play me. They start me again this game. And want to be honest, we had the Matic team free love. I scored in that game. Second half come in, the coach went and they subbed me to bring in Danny Logan.
Wow. So you're saying that you were selected to make the Windward Island team?
Yes.
And you were pressed?
I was pressed.
And even the last game when you came in, you scored?
Against Matic.
Against Matic.
And then we had Matic free love.
Free love.
And then while the coach is going to second half come, they subbed me to bring in Danny Logan. And guess what happened? This is no excuse.
So you're saying this happens because of where you come from?
Where I come from and the coaches.
Okay.
Matic came back and beat us 5 goals to 3.
Wow. Wow.
What I was saying to that, because it's my first time in a tournament, I came from the ghetto. I play my best because I represent Dominica. I put everything into it. Even when we lose, I was disappointed because I think I could get a chance up front to go and get a goal. But anyway, that is our sport, we lose the game. But I was selected on the Windward team. And all I had to do was to just play against Grenada, whether we win or lose, and I would have made the Windward team.
Oh.
Coaches, they never play me. I say coaches sometimes have preference. And what they do, they play their teammates and they play their friends. And that caused a lot of football to cripple because of preference in football. Coaches must stop doing this thing.
So you're sending a message to all the coaches of today, take out the friendship in the football and
get serious in the business. I can understand somebody in the game because I'm all wrong. One day at time, I supposed to be striking, put me to be midfield. So I put me to be midfield defense. Okay? If we win, it's okay. I'm going to front in St. Vincent. I'm going to have a tournament against St. Vincent with those guys. With Dennis E2, I think Solcas on that team. A lot of young guys was on the team. We play against St. Lucia in St. Vincent. No, against Grenada. We beat Grenada 2-0. I was playing midfield defense with Shane Marshall and Blaga. I remember Blaga.
Yes, skillful.
And we won that game 2-0. We had 7 men get injured in that game against. So we made St. Vincent in the finals. So here we are playing, I play midfield defense. And I talked to Blaga and Shane, I said, brothers, we have to coordinate, understand one another. But there was 2 errors, and the St. Vincent guys get 2 goals. So we 2 down in a final game. I am the main striker at this time. I play midfield defense. Here what happened? Get the class. I come to I say, coach, we have 2 goals down. I just start the second half. You understand? And if things are working, you got to give me a chance up front. You understand? To see if we can turn things around. It will never happen. We put you to play, you have to play. But man, to be honest, 50 minutes left in the game and I'm still playing midfield defense. I say, coach, why am I defending 2 goals in the next 15 minutes? The tournament is over. What you afraid? You afraid to get a first goal? But better you use first goal than you try. Than you still defending 2 goals. I take on my own, my brother man, and I went up to strike. But when I go up to strike, the coach of the St. Vincent team tell our coach, how come you could have your best striker playing defense when you're 2 goals down?
So all in all, we are saying that coaches must also listen to players.
Have to listen to the players.
So Earl White, do you enjoy your football career?
I enjoy it 100% because I had loved the game and had a passion for the game. Even you certain time you come and play for us too as well. Until we coordinate and respect one another. After we know, remember that record we set in Windsor Park?
And records are important, you know.
Yes, remember that record we set in Windsor Park?
It was about 13
games, and we decided, well, because of disrespect to Blue Stars. Remember when they formed the Premier team, they said Blue Stars were not strong enough to go up to the Premier team.
Yes,
yes. Blue Stars and Paul Michel down, and it was really hurtful because we do so much damage just before.
Yes.
And then they left us down. So we say, okay, we're going to win and make sure no goals scored us. And we won that thing with no goals scored us.
13 games and no goals.
And see what happened in the end. With Lapwet in the finals. And that referee, I can call the referee name, Magnus. He gave us 4 red cards and then 3 yellow cards. And we played that game in the finals against Lapwet. It's 7 men. And we still won the game 2-0. I had my striker Ken Williams with me. And then Lapwet had a very good strike. I remember that day, and I had Neil Long on the fly. I'd make it start the cross. I said, no goals not scored on me there today. Defense is 7 men. So I can ability and love I had for the game. You know, and the players and they would respect me as a role model, and I set the example. And that was and another record again we set to. I mean, tell you, in 1985, when we won the intermediate in 1985, we also won the knockout champion too as well.
Okay.
95, I get most goals, I get man of the year at that time. Understand? But if I give you a serious history, people would want to know. After what happened in 1984, remember we lose the intermediate, and we go to St. Lucia and play. Remember what happened? So when we came back down, the same then coaches had a plan. They said they're going to discipline me because I talk and say what was wrong. You know what I'm saying? When we came back in 85, we won the intermediate. Guess what happened? Most people didn't know I was not on the national team when Dominica won in 1985. They disciplined me and my keeper, Steve Norris. Because Steve Norris was what me and told me why Earl White wasn't playing on the team. You know what I'm saying? He was vexed and disappointed about it in 1984. He said why Earl White was not playing on the team. And the coaches and them, they did not pick me to go to Grenada. And I was in full form to go to Grenada to win the championship. And it has hurt me. I sit down and I cry because I know I was going back for revenge to win the tournament. And the very same coaches did not pick me from where I come from. And Dominica went there, and Michael George and Jobo and them boys, they won the tournament. And I was so proud of that. I was disappointed and I was vexed. And when they meet St. Kitts to play the OCS trophy, St. Kitts beat us 2-1 in St. Kitts. When they come down very early to play the second game, I had to stow away to pass on the Harlem stand to come and watch that game. And I'm watching this, but look at where I should be on the team.
Yes,
and
yes,
that guys like Irving Guy and Chanty and all them great players up to the national team. And St. Kitts beat us 1-0. I cried. And just after that game finished, the knockout was started. And I said, Lord, this is my chance to prove worldwide. This is my chance to prove. The first team it was Saints. We beat Saints 1-0. And everything happened. I said, no, everybody getting blows. For what they done to me, everybody getting blows. And the other team they called in Grambacada Max. One of a great team, a very powerful team.
Big discussion about Grambacada Max.
They had a very, very great coach called in Low Black Emmanuel. Very good coach there. Let me tell you, when we beat Saints 1-0, them two rivals, Kensbro and Grambacada Max. Grambacada Max had guys like Irving Guy, Ian Blanchard, and Shanti, and Irving Totes, and Chinese, and all them great guys was in it. And them guys put down a piece of football against Kensbro. And them guys knock out Kensbro. And them guys decide they come in for the knockout, but they don't know we have a plan at the back there. And they don't know Earl White is the leader behind that plan, the most behind that plan.
Yes, sir.
And then Celtics went out to beat another team, Harlem beat another team. One come for the semi-finals. We end up meeting Grambacada Max in the semi-finals, and Harlem end up meeting Celtics in the semi-finals. We played that game against Grambacada Max, and that game go love all first half. And let me tell you some history about football. We came down in the second half pitch in the Riverside area. Once they're making 50 minutes to go, we just have that call. Hey, fellas, this is it. We're going for it. I had to leave the midfield. As I tell the coach, he doesn't listen. I leave the midfield. I see Mosiah, Papi, guys, goal, and feed me up there. And when I go up there, them guys start to feed me. Let me tell you something. Nobody could stop me in the park. And guys had great defense. Irving Totes, some of the guys from Kempfield, very good defense. Cool
and he won the match.
And I get through and I hit a left missile. It was according Clement. Hit a left missile on him. We get one goal. And as soon as I get that goal, I just fall back in the midfield defense. We just lock up everything.
Yes, sir.
One Grambacada Max, 1-0.
Yes, sir.
Grambacada Max called a problem. They could not believe those staff could have beat them.
Beat them. With that strong team they have.
And guess what happened later though? Celtic Barry Harlem. That was just a year 1985.
Celtics beat Harlem.
Celtics beat Harlem. Celtics said they come for the trophy. I tell China, it never happened. What have you done to me there? That is my trophy. We meet Celtics in the final. In the very first 5 minutes, I hit a missile and tried to make it 1-0. But that was not the end. Celtics did not give up. They had guys like Thomas Kempis, Mervyn Jura, that guy played for. They had a lot of great guys for the team. And they came back to equalize the game 1-1. Let me tell you history about football. The game ended up going to penalty kicks. And we had the first shot to kick. Let me tell you about history about football. And Anthony Norris, my cousin, he come, he put the ball, he take his first penalty kick and he throw it. And since he throw it, he takes back and he go. And he told him why he go for. He say his brother is Steve Norris and Earl is his cousin, they will take you on that. Let me give you a history of football. Celtics come and they score, boom, so we done. We come, we score, boom. Celtics come, Celtics score, boom. We have too much shots. I call my keeper and tell my keeper, let me tell you something. Go and score that goal. I will score the other one and we're going to win the trophy. Again, you? My keeper come, boom, he kick, he score. Mervyn Jura brother come and he kick Albert and kick the ball over the back. Too much shot left. I tell my keeper all he has to do.
Save.
Just save. And I finish him.
Who was the keeper? Steve Norris, right?
Norris.
Okay.
And Mac was so much kicking that ball. And anywhere he would kick the ball, we were so determined to win the knockout. The keeper Steve Norris would have get the ball. And Kello hit that ball in the V. And Norris did not dive and push it out. He dived and he hold it.
Oh, lad.
And he said like he come down with it. And he said, Mr. White, I'll do my part. The rest is yours.
I can see the replay, boy.
I said, my brothers, let me tell you something. I put this ball in his penalty kick there. He's going to create the principal. When the official blew, I could not make a move. tension that was in me.
Yes, I.
And the only time I was programmed, you know, welcome the only time coming, at that moment there, I must say, no, this is it. It can't make any mistake, you know. When I make the first step, when I kick that ball, before the ball could have reached the net, my brother, I feel I was in the air already. The people in there had me in the air. Earl White, king of football. Earl White, Blue Star, still known as king of football. History makes a back.
Yes, I.
Intermediate to knockout.
Yes, I. Right now, Earl, I still see you working, have the passion for the sport, helping the people of Benz and so on. So, that's a good vibes by you.
Well, in Benz, I just see this is the Savannah and the young guys, you know, some of them, they have a little passion love for the game. But you know, seeing this internet thing come around, you know, it creates a lot of problem because they're using that for excuse. The Savannah before, all there used to be like more than Labo. When we come and play them the days of before, when you finish there, you must go in the sea and bathe. Because when you go in the sea will turn brown and green. Because Labo, and since they come here, Jupiter came and do a good job there, and the Savannah is 100% now. And very sometime we come positive, but the guys and them are still negative.
So what are you saying to the young kids of today?
But the message to young kids on that, they got to take it positive. I mean, you know, most people use excess say, oh, you don't have money, you don't have this. But I think right now, during present time, it have more incentive now. You know what I mean? You get scholarship, you get little incentive there, you get little support there. You know what, it was harder for us today. Right now, so we have the diasporas, they send over 50 pairs of boots for us. Shane gas, everything. So players don't have problem when it comes to play football. Also, when you go home, you see a big bag of boots at my home in the veranda there. So when guys come to play, they have boots, they have all the opportunity to have. And my guys, they call lessons, where the guys will be exactly working together to put everything in place. All we need them guys to have discipline in football. And discipline is the key for football. There are a lot of sportsmen, they have the skills, they have the talent, but they don't have the discipline.
Okay.
You know, and discipline is a very key of football. So I need you to do, go out there, learn your education, respect your parents. When it comes for sports, you have to be disciplined.
Good words, my brother. Thanks for having that interview with me, Earl White. Respect you as a legend.
I respect my brother. I appreciate that. One love, man. Keep up the good work, my brother.
Yes, man.
Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi.
Somebody say no.